Hello everyone, my name's Oliver Antone alongside Katy Beth Boyers, and you're tuned in to another theater cast.
Yay!
My gosh, it feels good to be back. It's been what?
Months.
It was auditions for Romeo and Juliet when we did this. So we're doing this on two platforms. We're doing this as a video podcast, and we're doing this as an audio podcast. So you can check it out on the Herald on the Hill YouTube channel, or you can download the podcast off iTunes. But this way, the podcast remains more permanent. Whereas on iTunes, after I think 5 or 6 podcasts, they go away because of the membership we have.
I think it was something like that.
Anyway, with Honk lurking around the corner, we're talking musicals.
Yay! So I think we can just go ahead and start with, personally, what our favorite musicals are. I picked like 5 of my favorite musicals, and then you picked about 5 of yours, so. Okay, do you wanna go first?
No, ladies first.
Oh, thank you. So one of my favorite musicals is The Wizard of Oz. Did you put that?
Yeah, I did. I definitely put Wizard of Oz. It's just such a fun show, and definitely the way we did it last year made it way better. It
was an interesting twist, like a more modern twist on it. But I like it that you can do that with The Wizard of Oz, because it still was it fit like the whole theme of it, just like in a different, more modernized way. I like that.
Because I think when you talk about modernizing The Wizard of Oz, people think a lot of The Wiz, and I think Mr. Campbell definitely defied those expectations, because yes, The Wiz is definitely was a more modernized version.
Yeah,
because depending on time period. It was definitely a more modernized version, but it didn't, at least for me, maybe it does for some people, but at least for me, it didn't have the same feel that Wizard of Oz does.
Yeah, it's still, I know what you mean by that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of my favorite musicals. The only one that I had seen was just the movie version. I never saw it live, so that's probably why I put it as my number 5, because I hadn't seen it live at all, so I don't really know what to reference of it. Okay, and then I guess we can go ahead and go to my next one's Honk.
Honk. It's not one of my favorites. No. I'm sorry, Mr. Campbell, if this offends you, if you listen to this, but Honk is not one of my favorites. Honk is a wonderful musical. The music in it is so amazing, and I think it's funny how there are jokes that can go way over people's heads or way under.
There is.
And I think it's just this great show, but it doesn't make my top 5.
I mean, I can agree with that. I really like it because I had never heard of this musical before, but now that I have, I really love the music for it. They're very, the lyrics are so catchy. It has this mix of some comedy, and then it also has a little bit of romance, and then it has a little bit of some emotional themes to it. And I really like that because it all went together, and it it's just, I really like it because of that. It has multiple things.
And you bring up a good point, because I remember last year when Mr. Campbell had told us all about that the musical was going to be Honk, and we were all very confused and a little furious with him because we hadn't heard of this musical. And I think if you asked every member of the cast, aside from the freshmen, I think if you asked every member of the cast, are you going to audition for Honk last year, I think all of us would have said no. And then all of us looked into this musical that worked and was just this awesome musical.
The first song I heard from Honk was The Joy of Motherhood, and I really liked that song since then. It's just really catchy, and it does follow the theme of that, especially about how great motherhood is and how exciting it is, especially for the character who sings that, which is Ida, who's about to be a mother of little ducklings.
I think something we can say definitely about I just had a train of thought. Oh, right, here we go. Here gosh, now I'm stuttering. But so one of the free moment for plug here. We did just finish up the trailer, promo trailer. If it were a trailer, it would have been done more during Tech Week. But promo for Honk. So it's up on the Herald, and by the time this is published, it will have been published.
It should be published by the time this is up.
So go, please.
Go check that out. It's awesome.
It is amazing.
And if you're, JP2, everyone should come see Honk. They need to. It's awesome.
It can't help you with your English essay this time.
No, it can't.
I'm sorry. But hey, it's a fun musical.
It's a musical for all ages. So, parents can come see it. It's perfect for kids and adults. That's also what I really like about it. It's not just for it's not for a more serious audience or just for kids. It's for both, and I really like about that.
Because the hard thing about writing a musical is you're trying to write it for
You have to know
everyone.
your audience.
And you're trying to write it for everyone, and you want everyone to enjoy it, and I think Honk really captures that.
It does. That's probably why I put it on my top 5, is I really like about that. Okay, so, you can go to yours now.
Okay.
Because you had a different one.
Let's see, I had a couple different ones. One of my favorites that definitely shocks a lot of people was back in 2014. The show ran from early March. Previews began in early February and of March of 2014, and the show ran until August. It was supposed to close at some point and got extended. And that show is Rocky the Musical. A lot of people get it confused with Rocky Horror Picture Show. It is not. But believe me, a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people did. Obviously, you have to see it live to really truly experience it, because it got so critically acclaimed for the fight scene at the end of the musical. And the music to it is amazing. It's best described in an interview with Andy Carl, who's a personal favorite Broadway actor of mine. He played Rocky Balboa in the show. It's best described as every character sings with a reason. It's not, and I think that's one of the great things about musicals. It's because when your character wants to sing with a reason. The interviewer said, so it's not just like, oh, I'm punching meat. It's a very beautiful soundtrack. Not as many upbeat numbers. I think there's maybe 2 really upbeat full ensemble numbers, and that's One of Us and Southside Celebrity. And then they have upbeat numbers too, such as The Flip Side and Happiness, which are duets with Rocky and Adrian. And I think that it's great the way they incorporate Eye of the Tiger. That got a lot of red flags, and the way they incorporated Eye of the Tiger, because everyone said it felt rushed, but I think it worked with his training montage, and I think the way the music was made just made it amazing. And I think the way they had to rewrite it, because you have to rewrite it for the stage, and I think they kept a lot of the original humor, a lot of the aspects of the original cast, and at the same time, they incorporated things that you wouldn't expect. They couldn't put Rocky's dog Buttkiss in the musical, because, as they always say, the 2 worst things to work with on stage are dogs and children. So,
it's kind of
oddly enough, I've been in 2 shows where we've done both of those.
We've done both of those. I was going to say, for Wizard of Oz, we had a dog and children.
Both Wizard of Oz. During Wizard of Oz at JP2, there was only 1 dog.
There was 1 dog.
But during the Wizard of Oz back at good old Rhode Island Youth Theater, there were 2 dogs. We had a dog. The way they did it was they did a dog in black and white, and they did a dog in color. So the dog in black and white, but I think they were pretty similar breeds. It's really funny. It's really funny. Our funny story. Our Dorothy was allergic to dogs.
Oh.
And so she she was only allergic to the fur, so we had 2 hair dogs instead. Okay. Which were very cute, but they were They were not fun to work with, and unlike our show where we only had maybe 10 kids.
Yeah, we had about 10 kids.
This show had about 50. You know, like, it was just this massive number of small children. So Rocky definitely gets on my list for sure, because it just keeps the original essence of the movie, and I got emotional seeing it. What else is a really great one is, I have not seen this yet, but it is new to Broadway, and I'm dying to get tickets to School of Rock, because the way they've reinterpreted Jack Black's musical, it wasn't even a musical, they changed it into a musical. It's great. For some reason, it's really hard for me to like a movie musical. And that's why I'm very displeased with the idea of them making Groundhog Day the musical. Which again,
really?
they're making it into a musical. Sad part is, I mentioned Andy Carroll, who was Rocky. Andy Carroll is portraying Bill Murray's character as the lead role in the musical. So that is a bummer for me. But he's definitely. I mean, that I don't like the idea of that. At the same time, I was skeptical of, don't get me wrong, I was very skeptical of them turning School of Rock and Rocky into musicals when I'd heard news for both of them, and I ended up loving both, because the soundtrack to School of Rock just makes you want to get your head banging, and just, you want to get excited for that show, and they use an all youth cast, except for Dewey and a few of the others, but they're kids. They had about 1,000 kids audition, and only about 10 got roles, but it's a very small show. If you're ever in New York, it's playing the Winter Garden Theater, and I'm dying to get tickets for this show. But, it's just, the soundtrack is amazing. Just listening to the soundtrack, your emotions switch from sad to happy to just want to rock out back to sad. You go ahead and name 2 more.
It's been a long time since I've seen the movie versions of School of Rock, but that sounds actually really cool.
Oh yeah, they're releasing it. It's the cool thing about it is, so like I said, they use an all youth cast, and they just had auditions again, because once they have many intentions of bringing the show back. So the rights aren't released yet, but they have plans to release them in the next year or so. But the thing is, they're doing it because the kids have to go. The kids are homeschooled currently. Funny enough, School of Rock, and then your kids are homeschooled. But the kids are homeschooled currently that are starring in the show. Once their contracts end for the show, they're casting a whole new group of kids. Now, the actor portraying Dewey and all the other adult characters will remain will reprise their roles. But right now they're doing auditions, because when the show closes in about a year, just about, they'll take about a 2-month break and then re-revive it with this new group of kids. Yeah. But it's playing the Winter Garden. It's amazing.
Okay. It sounds good. Okay, so I guess I'll do, so another one of my top favorites is South Pacific. I'm such an old school. I love old school musicals. South Pacific's one of my favorite, because I love the, it's, especially the movie version, because I never saw it live. I wish I could go see it live, because I really would love it. But they used, one of the characters that's in the movie was also in the musical, in the Broadway musicals also, which was awesome. And she was really good. And then I also love the story is very, romantic. And then I just love the characters of it. The music's very, pretty, sort of, there's, one of the songs where it's very, I forgot it now.
Upbeat, sad, funny.
It's sort of, mysterious. Especially, the main song, it's called, Bali High. It's, very mysterious, because it's talking about this island no one gets to go to, And so it gets very mysterious, and I really like about that.
I'm not gonna lie, I have not seen this musical, so
You should.
Yeah,
you should
I
watch
was-
them.
I
You should watch
really
the
should.
movie.
I feel bad saying that.
It's so good.
I have not seen this musical.
I just love it. It's very romantic, and then yeah, it's awesome. So that's one of mine, and then the other one is Les Miserables.
Oh, I thought we were gonna share. I thought we were gonna share that one together. But okay.
Yeah, we are.
Well, again, it's on my list. I thought you were gonna be like my number one's Les Mis, and I was gonna be like my number one's Les Mis. And we were gonna have this. We were gonna have
This
this.
is my
moment,
number 2.
And we were gonna have this moment. Well, I know you're number 1, but I thought we were gonna have this moment, and we were gonna be like, oh my gosh! But that moment is clearly not happening anymore.
Still, it's number 2.
I mean, it's on
I
there.
still like it.
It's one of it. Has to be
I
my
love
personal
it. Oh my
favorite.
gosh, I love it.
And just the differences between the regular show and the movie, and I always love going back, like just seeing how the show does it differently. I love the show's soundtrack, the musical soundtrack, so much more. Fun fact about Les Mis, they're not so much a fun fact, actually kind of a sad fact. They are closing it down. It's closing. I mean, like all shows do. And while everyone says, well, it's fine, Les Mis has revived itself so many times, they don't have intentions of reviving it this time. So I think they're going to pull the cats and wait 30 years or so and bring it back. But as of now, there's no plans of recasting it. They just,
Aww.
the barricade comes down and it's not going to be there. What I love about the movie, though, is the Bishop.
Oh yeah.
Because the Bishop is Jean Valjean the Bishop was Jean Valjean in Les Mis. Look up those of you listening, wherever you're or watching, wherever you're listening. Look it up. It's the 25th anniversary. You can find it on either YouTube or Dailymotion or one of those video sites. You can find it, and the show is on there, the 25th anniversary. It's not the actual show, but they do the anniversary concert.
Yeah.
And it's the anniversary concert, and who the Bishop is Jean Valjean. I personally like Hugh Jackman's Jean Valjean the best.
Oh yeah,
he was. Of all the Valjeans I've seen, Hugh Jackman's is always my favorite. However, I'm sorry, Anne Hathaway, if you ever stumble upon this, which you won't, but I'm sorry, Anne Hathaway, but the 25th anniversary, the woman who played Fantine, her interpretation is definitely my favorite Fantine. And so are their Thénardiers.
The Thénardiers.
The woman who's the Thénardier has been the Thénardier, or the woman who's the Thénardiers has been the Thénardiers for years on Broadway, and she's just killed the role. Like, if you look, you can see, if you watch, I've watched both of these, you can watch the 10th anniversary, and you can watch the 25th anniversary. Again, they're on video sites, and it's the same woman, and I believe she's still the Thénardier, even to this day. Yeah, so for at least 17 years, she's been the Thénardier, which is just fun to think about.
I've only seen the movie version, but I really wish I could go see it live, but now it's not probably gonna happen.
Well, the show will still travel, but
okay,
the thing, my friend, I'm probably going to send her the link to this because she loves stuff like this. My friend Karen, for Christmas, got tickets to the show. I don't think it's for closing night, but she has tickets to the show, and I am very, very upset with her.
Why?
Because I don't get... So Karen and I, last year, said that we were going to go see Les Mis together. And now we're not going to do that.
Oh.
We were going to... Yep.
Oh well.
I gotta cut that out. Darn it. Let's just keep going.
Oh well. Okay, you can do your number... Well, you've already done your number 1. Do you have one more?
Well, there's not... You've only done 4.
I have one more, but I want...
I'm trying to think of my other one. Seussical is my number... Seussical is my number 3. Wait, what have I done? Have I done all 5 now with that? Rocky, Oz, School of Rock, Seussical, it is, yeah. So, Seussical is definitely my number 2, my number 3. It's on this line between Rocky and Seussical. But in 5th grade, Seussical is what got me in to doing theater.
Oh my gosh, my brother did Seussical Junior in 5th grade last year.
Yep, I was in 5th grade. It seems to be a common show for 5th graders, I guess. But in 5th grade, I was cast as a Wickersham brother, and we weren't doing much as the Wickershams, because the Wickershams, if any of you have seen the show, it's Seussical Junior. So the Wickershams play a much larger role in the junior show than they do in the full version of the show.
Yeah.
I prefer the full version of the show. I think it stinks that they cut out the plot line with JoJo getting sent to the army, because, you know, that just really...
That's children's.
Yeah, I know, but it really influences his thinks. But, so, and then halfway through the show, like, maybe even, like, halfway through rehearsal, maybe even 3/4 of the way through rehearsal, I wasn't having the greatest time, and I definitely wasn't going to audition again the next year. And then the person who was JoJo, he was in 6th or 7th grade, and 7th grade, he was in 7th grade, and he thought that he was too old to be doing the show. So, or not to be doing the show, but to be JoJo the Who. And he thought that it made him, I want to use it's hard to say this, because I'm going to use just an adjective for it. He thought it made him more flamboyant. Because I don't want to offend anyone, and I don't want Patton to make me cut out any other synonyms for what it actually thought it made him. But it made him seem more flamboyant. And so without a JoJo, the director, I was very shocked by this, said, Oliver, he goes, do you want to be JoJo? And this is the funny part, I told him no.
Oh, you told him no?
I told him no.
That's a plot twist.
And but then I kept thinking about it at rehearsal, and he goes, listen, if you can memorize all of JoJo's stuff by next week's rehearsal, I will give you the role. And I did it, and I got the role, and from then on out, I had so much fun in theater that it led into me doing Annie. Annie's definitely in my top 10. Sorry, Mr. Campbell. But Annie's fun story with Mr. Campbell and Annie. The girl at the Lipscomb Musical Awards, the girl who was the St. Cecilia did Annie, and the girl who was Annie got up there and sang Maybe, and Mr. Campbell, you may remember this, got up.
I didn't go.
You didn't go. You didn't go. Mr. Campbell got up and left the theater, and didn't come back in.
Oh my gosh. It's okay. Annie's not like one of my top 5 anyway.
But so. I was Rooster Hannigan in Annie, and a lot of reasons why shows become my favorites is because I have so much fun in the show. But yeah, where was I at?
Oh, we were talking about Annie, and I have so much fun in it.
And when I have shows like Alice in Wonderland, I never liked the movie.
Which one?
What?
Which one? The animated or the live one?
Animated.
No!
I never liked the movie, just the way it was animated, and just...
No!
I never liked the movie. However, the musical, I was Tweedledum in 7th grade with with one of my best friends, Josh. We were Tweedledum and Tweedledee, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and we had the best time. And from then on, Alice in Wonderland is one of my favorite musicals. I still remember How Do You Do and Shake Hands by heart. If I ever hear that song, I will burst into it. I was in the car with one of my friends, and they live in my neighborhood. They were taking me to school, and that song came on, and I clicked right into it.
How do you do and shake hands, how do you do and shake hands.
And then another one of my favorites that I didn't even conclude, but if I had a sixth.
Just go ahead and add your 6.
If I had a 6th, it would be Yes, Virginia, There Is a Santa Claus.
Aww.
That musical, like the movie isn't a musical, but that musical is one of my favorites, and it's so good in the music. I was Scraggly Santa in it, and I was in 8th grade, and I loved it. And yeah, so Katy Beth, we're gonna run out of time, so you may want to give us.
I
your
have
favorite.
to do my number 1 though. This is like my new favorite. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Okay, so my number 1 is The Phantom of the Opera. So this is why
Wait, it's not My Big Fat Italian Wedding?
No.
That's a musical. We tried to convince Mr. Campbell to do it. That's a musical.
Really?
It's My Big Fat Italian Wedding.
Oh my gosh. Well, no, it's The Phantom of the Opera. So my mom is a huge fan of it, and she's seen it live before, and she really wants me to one day see it live also. I watched the movie version over Christmas break, and I immediately fell in love with Phantom. Oh my gosh, it was like the music,
The music of the night?
Yes, the music of the night.
Okay. Sorry, chandeliers. Anyway.
I loved just I loved the character of Christine Daae. I loved the background and like the whole history of the Phantom. I thought that was very cool. I immediately fell in love with it in the very beginning when they were pulling up the chandelier and all the music goes dun 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 dun. And I was like falling in love with it, and then and to have even a better surprise for Christmas, I got tickets to go see Phantom of the Opera when they come to TPAC. So I get to come see it live this March.
That's good. We only have about 3 minutes left, so I'm going to put in our question of the, it was supposed to be a question of the every other week, but
It's the question of the episode.
The question of the episode is, what is your favorite musical? And what did we get wrong? I mean, I noticed other great musicals like Wicked weren't on here and all that.
Yeah.
So please, if you're watching on the YouTubes, put it in the comments. If you're listening to the podcast right now, email it to the Herald on the Hill. We don't want to send it to Herald editors. You want to send it to the Herald on the Hill at gmail.com, not at JP2, just at gmail.com. Yeah, we were going to talk about some newer musicals that are heading to Broadway soon.
Yeah.
But we're running out of time on both
We'll save that for another time.
We'll save that for another time. Thank you for listening to TheaterCast. My name's Oliver Antone.
I'm Katy Beth Boyers.
And there was some tagline we had at the end of it last time, but
I don't know.
We had something interesting.
Oh, crap.
Looks like it's time for a blackout. We'll see you next time.